Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Apollo Athletics. As we step into the new year, and I'm a bit late, but I think it's still kind of relevant. As we step into the new year, many of us make many ambitious New Year's resolutions. And this is great, but how can we ensure that we don't just set the resolutions, but we are able to actively take steps in actually achieving the resolutions? Today, I'll give you something to think about, something that has been foundational to my growth. Today, we're going to be talking about how small, consistent actions can have a huge impact overall in the long term. All right, so the mantra I want you guys to take into the new year is doing small things consistently will reap more results than doing big things spontaneously. This is a phrase I coined on my YouTube channel, Dr. Apolly, back in 2020. And it's also a phrase I used in my book. This motto isn't just a catchy phrase, but it's a philosophy that you're supposed to embody. It can utterly transform the way that you approach your goals. It isn't short bursts of motivation, but years of dedication that truly reap results. And by understanding this motto, you can make the first steps in actually making this a reality. First up, what this motto is saying is that consistency is key. Setting up a resolution is great, but it's the consistent effort that actually make that goal into reality. Whether it's hitting the gym, gaining more muscle, learning how to fight, reading a book, anything you can think of, doing a little over time builds momentum. And when you have momentum, you have inertia. Inertia is basically a physics concept, meaning that an object stays in motion unless an outside force is acted upon it. Now let's talk more about building momentum. We often set big, glamorous, ambitious resolutions, but it's only by breaking them into small bits that the journey actually seems achievable. If you want to be a millionaire, for example, just as throwing that idea out there, not saying this should be your goal, but just saying, as an example, if you want to be a millionaire, you can think of $1 million as it is $1 million, or you can break it down and think, okay, I need to make $1,000 1,000 times. And then it doesn't seem so bad anymore. You made $1,000 before, probably, assuming you're like over 18. It probably wasn't like the hardest thing in the world for you. So if you can do that 1,000 more times, put in a little bit more effort, that way the 1,000 that you're making every month or every week or something like that can multiply into 1.5 thousand or something like that. Then just do that over time and eventually be a millionaire. Small daily actions propel you forward, creating a ripple effect. Take note and make small monthly goals or small weekly goals or even small daily goals. Once you break it down and you're able to see the month-to-month progress, it becomes much more tangible. Now on sustainability is crucial. The initial burst of motivation can quickly fade away. This motto reminds us that small, sustainable, incremental goals will be what will actually propel us forward instead of the short bursts of motivation that we get. Habits are at the core of New Year's resolutions or any resolution that you want to make. This motto brings into focus holistic transformation, not just a quick goal. It almost changes the way that you fundamentally think about yourself. This is because by ingratiating habits every day, you start to think about yourself differently because you are reminded constantly of the work that you're putting into towards your goals. And what you repeatedly tell yourself obviously manifests into actions. Consistently incorporating small actions into your day will change into habits. And as we know, the habits that you do ultimately form your destiny. There's the famous quote that goes, "Watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become character. Watch your character, for it becomes your destiny." The choices we make on a daily basis, even the seemingly small ones, have a cumulative effect on our habits, our character, and ultimately our destiny. This is why consistency in small behaviors is so important. In your pursuit to become better, you have to go above and beyond. You have to incorporate what I call supererogatory virtue. Supererogatory just means that you're doing a good thing more than necessary. So when you're achieving your goals, don't just achieve them for their own sake. For example, like if you want to read a book a month or something like that, don't just roll your eyes across the page or whatever. Try and actually understand, maybe even potentially take notes on it. You're not just fulfilling the literal words of the resolution, but you're fulfilling the overall spirit of the resolution. As you do this, don't forget to celebrate your wins. Celebrating small wins is not just a good way to stay motivated, but it's a good way to remind yourself and be proud of the progress that you make. It's easy to overlook the progress that you're making because, again, you're focusing on more consistent small effort, but the progress is there and it should be acknowledged. It's a really good way to boost your confidence. And finally, my last piece of advice is to mitigate how often you overwhelm yourself. People often underestimate how much that they can actually do, especially if they live a very sedentary life. However much you think you can do, you can probably do quite a bit more. You might be aiming to run like 2 miles, but I'm pretty sure that if you really wanted to, if you really tried, you could probably go for 5 miles. But let's just be real, we cannot go 110% in 100% of the things that we do. There's a concept in Fullmetal Alchemist called equivalent exchange. When you put effort into one thing, something else is going to be mitigated. Put effort into another thing is going to be mitigated. You can't put 100% in everything. You have to delegate your resources into the things that you think are most important. So make sure you're focusing on a step-by-step sort of approach, and you're taking things slowly, and you're just taking your time. And when you're burnt out, you acknowledge the fact that you're burnt out, and you start to, focus more on the small things as opposed to, the big sort of lofty ambitions that you've been going for. So there you have it. That's the motto I'm going to give you for the year. Hopefully you incorporate it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you all next time. Peace.